Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 38th favorite dad in the family community, Papa West, Jacob West, here for another exciting episode of TMG Takes the Field, the weekly show where we talk about sports. And hey, I can say it, it's more than just football today, mainly just football. But we're going to talk a little bit more. Basketball. The basketball NBA season started last night. We had two games. We had the Thunder beating the Rockets 125 to 124 in double overtime. So very exciting game to launch the rings, raise the banner. And then we also had the Warriors beating the Lakers 119 to 109. That was the opening night. Ton of games today. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but periodically we'll talk about where everyone's ranked at right now. And then we do also have baseball. Very exciting playoffs. Came to an end Monday night. Game 7, the Blue Jays beat the Mariners 4-3. Our World Series is set. It is the Dodgers taking on the Blue Jays. First time Blue Jays have made the World Series since 1993, although I distinctly remember them playing in the 2010s, but they didn't actually. And then also the Dodgers, who won last year. So they are coming back. Series starts on Friday. It is best of 7. We'll see how it goes. I really hope the Blue Jays win because I don't like the Dodgers. Sorry, Brandon Cohen, but that's just the way it goes. As far as NCAA goes, again, very exciting week last week. Friday, we had two upsets. Louisville beat number 2 Miami, and Minnesota beat number 25 Nebraska. Miami game was huge because Carson Beck threw 4 interceptions. The Nebraska game, it was still pretty huge. As for Saturday, we had Ohio State beating Wisconsin 34-0. Indiana beating Michigan State 38-13. Texas A&M beating Arkansas 45-42. Georgia beat Ole Miss 43-35. Alabama beat Tennessee 37-20. Arizona State upset Texas Tech 26-22. Oregon beat Rutgers 56-10. Vanderbilt upset LSU 31-24. Georgia Tech beat Duke 27-18. Notre Dame beat USC 34-24. Oklahoma beat South Carolina 26-7. BYU beat Utah 24-21. Missouri beat Auburn 23-17. Virginia beat Washington State 22-20. South Florida beat FAU 48-13. Texas beat Kentucky 16-13 in overtime. UAB upset Memphis 31-24. And Cincinnati beat Oklahoma State 49-17. We have some movement in our rankings. Number 25, we have Michigan, 24, Arizona State, 23, Illinois. Texas dropped to 22. Cincinnati is at 21. LSU is at 20. Louisville, 19. South Florida, 18. Tennessee, 17. Virginia, 16. Missouri, 15. Texas Tech, 14. OU at 13. Notre Dame at 12. BYU at 11. Vanderbilt at 10. Miami at 9. Ole Miss at 8. Georgia Tech at 7. Oregon at 6. Georgia at 5. Alabama at 4, Texas A&M at 3, Indiana's at 2, and Ohio State is still holding on to the number 1 overall seed. I did that backwards than I normally do. I don't know why, but I just felt like doing that, I guess. All right, other big news in college football. Billy Napier, the head coach of Florida, was fired from his duties on Sunday. So Florida will be making that head coach change. They will be searching this offseason, just like Penn State and UCLA. And I believe there are a couple others. So definitely big news there. Now for this upcoming weekend, we just have games on Saturday. Number 2 Indiana is taking on UCLA. Georgia Tech's taking on Syracuse. Virginia is traveling to North Carolina. South Florida is traveling to Memphis. Alabama is traveling to South Carolina. BYU is traveling to Iowa State. Illinois is traveling to Washington. Texas Tech has Oklahoma State. Cincinnati has Baylor. Texas is traveling to Mississippi State. Oregon has Washington. Miami has Stanford. Louisville has Boston College. Michigan is traveling to Michigan State. Tennessee is traveling to Kentucky. Arizona State has Houston. And then a couple ranked versus ranked matchups. Texas A&M is taking on LSU in Louisiana. And then we have Missouri is traveling to Tennessee to take on Vanderbilt. And then Ole Miss is traveling to take on Oklahoma. So a lot of interesting matchups coming. Again, we are in the meat of the conference plays right now. So every game has major implications as far as conference championships, which also has major implications on conference or the college football playoffs and alignments in that as well. So very excited to see this season starting to shape up. We'll see where it leads us to because we have stuff starting here very, very soon. And I just realized my laptop's not charging, so give me 2 seconds, guys. You gotta love when your laptop gets unplugged and you don't realize it. But thankfully, no message popped up, so nowhere near dying. All right, and then for NFL games, week 7 was a really good week. Very exciting week, I think. A lot of fun games, a couple blowouts. One shutout, I believe, and a lot of predictions. So, Thursday, we had the division rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Bengals were victorious 33-31 because the Pittsburgh secondary couldn't stop a nosebleed. Sunday, our final London game and our final international game for a while. We did have the Rams beating the Jaguars 35-7. Matt Stafford threw 5 touchdowns without Puka Nacua. And then Travis Hunter also got his first NFL touchdown. Much more exciting game than the last London game. And then for the States games, we had the Eagles beating the Vikings 28-22. I was definitely happy there, finally getting back in the win column after those 2 straight losses. The Chiefs destroyed the Raiders 31-0. It's fun. I had Patrick Mahomes in one of my fantasy leagues, and I didn't play him. But I didn't need him because I won that game. It was also like the only game I won. The Browns beat the Dolphins 31-6. Patriots beat the Titans 31-13. Panthers beat the Jets 13-6. Bears beat the Saints 26-14. Colts beat the Chargers 38-24. Broncos beat the Giants 33-32. This one was crazy because the Giants were winning by a lot. It was it was 19-0 at the end of the third quarter. Broncos scored right at the beginning of the fourth quarter to make it 19-8. Giants scored to make it 26-8. Denver comes back, ends up getting the lead 30-26. With 37 seconds left, the Giants scored a touchdown, touchdown to go up 32-30. And then the Broncos, with no time on the clock, were able to run it down the field to kick a game-winning field goal. Very exciting, crazy comeback there. And we had the Packers beating the Cardinals 27-23. The Cowboys walked all over the Commanders 44-22. And then Sunday night, we had the 49ers beating the Falcons 20-10. And then I believe it's our last doubleheader for a while as far as the Monday night games go. We had the Buccaneers losing to the Lions 24-9, and then the Seahawks beating the Texans 27-19. So again, a lot of fun matchups going on. We had, as far as our predictions go, we kept it pretty tight. Tato and I were differing on just a couple, not a lot. But he did have a better week than I did, unfortunately. He finished at 11-4. I finished at 9-6. So that now takes our overall records. He is at 66-42. I am at 61-47. So he has started to get a pretty sizable lead. 5 games. The highest it's been was 4, which I was able to come back the very next week. So we'll see if this week proves better for me. And then we did also have our celebrity guest picker for the week was Alec. Alec finished at 9-6, finishing with a 60% accuracy. One thing I do want to say about Alec, he got every single Sunday morning and afternoon game right. He got the Colts right, and then proceeded to lose every other matchup afterwards but one. So I was really thinking that Alec was going to take Jay's crown and be the new leader as far as the celebrity guest pickers. But unfortunately, with the 60% accuracy, he was unable to get there. Our leaderboard right now, Jay is still in the lead at 75%. Chris, 69. Jeremy at 67. Alec is sitting at 4th place at 60%. Brandon Cohen's at 56%. And then Kayla at 36%. So I will say no celebrity guest picker this week. Obviously, this is a lot later than most of our videos have been. I had something come up that had to delay it. And then Tato had something else come up that had to delay it even further. And our celebrity guest picker was not able to hop on as late. So this person will be here next week. So it will just be me and maybe Tato. Tato's thing looks like it just ended. And so he should hopefully be on here pretty soon, and we will get his thoughts. But first, before we get that, we'll go ahead and at least start the predictions. I can start some of those without him. And so, is it week 8 already? I think it's week 8. It's crazy how quick the NFL season goes. Makes me wish it was longer. And then I remember people's safety is a thing. Other big news. Obviously, no big trades this week, but the trade deadline is fast approaching, so we will definitely inform you next week if anything happens. I want some stuff to happen. But Mike Evans is out, placed on IR. He is likely to come back very end of the season. So his record of 11 straight seasons with 1,000+ receiving yards, unfortunately, is going to come to an end this year, unless he just goes crazy the last couple weeks if he's able to play. Tied Jerry Rice for the longest active streak, hoping to be the one with the record, but does not look like that's going to happen. And then other big news for the Eagles, Brandon Graham announced he is re-signing with the team. He retired kind of in the middle of the offseason. A lot of talks during the season, a lot of talks that it was going to be his final year with the team. But he is coming back to hopefully aid that pass rush for Philadelphia. Our leading sacker is retired. Played just a handful of games and got like 2 sacks. I think we have 2.5 sacks now as far as our leader goes. I believe I read that right. And then obviously, again, as far as trade deadline goes, a lot of news coming out of that. Trey Hendrickson, a lot of news on his name. The Bengals have said they are not moving on him. And then Max Crosby also has had his name thrown out quite a bit too. And the Raiders have said that they will not be moving on him either, which I remember. I believe it was earlier this year. He was or during the offseason, he was saying he wanted to retire a Raider. Alvin Kamara has also been rumored. He has said that if he gets traded, he's just going to retire. He wants to finish his career out as a Saint. All right. We're going to go ahead and at least start the predictions. As soon as Tato gets in, I'll have him come to where I'm at. So our first game, our Thursday night game, it is not a division rival. It's not even a conference rival. The Minnesota Vikings are traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. There we go. Everyone, it is Tato. Tato, how's it going?
Doing good. We're on picks. Let's go.
I was going to ask any thoughts you wanted to share about the games last week.
Bears win not tight on a number crunch as I thought it would be. Not as much of a sweat towards the end, but also like another not pretty win, but winning is all that matters. Caleb has proven, he's got that clutch gene, which is good. So yeah, just good continued to 2025 Bears victories while I am in the Central Time Zone.
Absolutely, we like it. And then something I wanted to do too. The trade deadline is fast approaching. Obviously, a lot of rumors have been said, but I did want to ask. And I will answer my question as well. If your team can only make one move this trade deadline, what do you want it to be?
I have nothing specific, but I would like to see the defensive line addressed if possible, be it in the middle or on the edge.
Absolutely. I'm going to echo your sentiments practically the exact same. The Eagles need a pass rush. The Brandon Graham news is huge, but I don't think it's going to be good enough. I want us to get, obviously, Trey Hendrickson. Who knows if he's going to finish with the Bengals this year. Probably not going to be a Bengal next year. His name's been thrown out. There's been a couple others. One thing that I really would like to see, I doubt it's going to happen, but there's all this A.J. Brown news. And the Eagles have obviously said they're keeping him. But if we do decide, let's make a big move, I think we can trade him to the Dolphins and get Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips. Maybe try to get Minkah Fitzpatrick in there too, and a couple picks. I'm starting to get a little, I'm starting to get a little greedy there. But I would just like to make some moves at pass rush too. Like even if we keep AJ Brown, because I love the guy, he's great. There's definitely a lot of teams with great defenders who are pretty much bottom of the barrel right now, who I think we could throw a couple draft picks their way. But yeah, no, I was about to start picks. You came at the perfect time, Tato. So yeah, Thursday Night Football, we have the Vikings traveling to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers. Chargers are 3.5-point favorites. I'm going to go first on this one. Not as many games this week that I went back and forth on. This is still one that I did. And this is the LeBron stat of the day on why I am picking the Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings have gone win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. They're 3-3. They're due for a win. And the Chargers have yet to win multiple games in a row since week 1 and week 2. I do think they're still hurting at line. I think the Vikings can hurt that, hurt them a little more on the offensive line too. They can exploit that a little more. Andrew Van Ginkel might be back. He's been injured for the past couple weeks. So I think the Vikings get the win here. Tato, what about you?
I got Chargers.
All right. I want to say when I saw that, I'm like, I have to go with this route, and Tato's going to smile. Hopefully. Next, we have, again, no international games this week, just strictly American games. So 1 o'clock, our first game we're going to talk about. The Giants are traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Eagles are 7.5-point favorites. I'm going to go first again on this one. Eagles are hopefully going to have some revenge on their mind. And I didn't go with them last week, and it kind of bit me in the butt. Not really. I love the fact that they won. And if me going against them means they'll win every week, I'll go against them every week. But I'm going to test it here. I do think the Eagles get the win, so I'm picking the Eagles. Tato, what's your pick here?
Yes, I very much have Philly here.
All right. Next, we have the Jets are traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Bengals are 6.5-point favorites. Tato, who's your pick here?
Bengals.
All right. And I am going to return that sentiment. The Jets have been struggling, and the Joe Flacco Jamar Chase connection is crazy. I mean, when you throw the ball to Jamar Chase, he's going to catch it. So he's going to get 27 targets, but it's going to work almost every single time. I'm going to go with the Bengals as well. Our next game, we have the Bears are traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Ravens are 5.5-point favorites. Lamar Jackson did practice today. Him playing is still up in the air. I will give you that news. Potato, who's your pick?
Yeah, I'll keep rolling with the Bears till they give me a reason not to. Let's go.
I like it. I'm a little confused by this 5.5 point. I think the whole question marks with Lamar is really what's causing that. But I do. The Bears are on, a 4-game win streak so far?
Yep.
So let's make it 5. Let's keep this offense clicking. I have the Bears also. Next, we have the Dolphins are traveling to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Falcons are 7.5-point favorites. And Tato, I must say, the Dolphins look horrible. But it would be the most Falcons thing ever to make the Dolphins look great. This was one I went back and forth on just because it's the Falcons. But no matter how much back and forth I have to go, I still cannot look at Tua and call him a competent quarterback. I'm going with the Falcons. Tato, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, I've given Mike McDaniel all the love over the years and stuff like that, but I am going to take the Falcons on this one and see how that goes.
All right. So far, every single home team has been the favorite in Vegas. In fact, there are 3 away teams that are the favorite all week. The first one, we have the Bills are traveling to Carolina to take on the Panthers. Bills are a 7.5-point favorite. Tato, what's your pick here?
Yeah, I think the Bills stop the skid against the All Red Rifle here.
But the Panthers have been playing great at home. And Andy Dalton was just what the Panthers needed last year. They benched Bryce Young, and he sat out a couple weeks, then played great. Well, not great, but really, really good. I think this is a trap game for Buffalo. They've really struggled with stopping anything on defense. and Rico Dowdle has been electric. Chuba Hubbard hopefully is going to pick up some of that electricity, but I still have the Bills winning. However, I think it will only be like a 2.1 point game. It's going to be a lot closer, but I still have the Bills. Next, we have the 49ers traveling to Houston to take on the Texans. Texans are 1.5 point favorites. Tato, I must say, while I was working out last week and looking up and seeing the Texans just playing so bad, I thought to myself, CJ Stroud looked so good last year, or at least the year before. He looked okay last year. Why is he looking so bad this year? And more importantly, why are the Texans favored right now? Because the 49ers have fourth string practice squad players lined up on their line, lined up at every position except for running back, and are beating teams very, very, very easily, except for like 2 teams. But who cares? And I think I don't care if it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy. I think the 49ers win. Tato, what about you?
With apologies to Alec Miller, I also have the 49ers victorious here.
Don't apologize to him. He was a celebrity guest picker. You don't need to apologize for anything. All right, next we have the Browns traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. Tato, what's your pick here?
Give me New England.
All right. This was one for me that I went back and forth on, just because that Browns defense is a pretty staunch defense, and the Patriots. Yes, they had that blowout win against the Panthers. Yes, they had that great win against the Bills. And while they're winning, they're not winning by much. And I think this is going to be a tough defense for them and for Drake May. But I like the Patriots just enough to get the win here. Again, probably going to be like just a 2-point, 3-point game, but it's going to be tight. Next, we have our 4 o'clock window. We have the 4:05, the Buccaneers traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Buccaneers are the second favorite away team, favored at 4.5 points. I'll go first here. Like I said earlier, Mike Evans out for most of the rest of the season. He might be able to play the last couple of weeks. But Emeka Egbuka is supposed to be back. And that's about it as far as Baker's offensive weapons. So again, this could be a tight game just because the Saints have been keeping most of their games somewhat close. But I do still just like the Buccaneers enough. Tato, what about you?
Yeah, bounce back game for Baker and the Bucs here after playing a really strong Lions team, of course. So I think they just get back to their winning ways. Baker shows that MVP caliber again.
All right, and then the 4:25 game, we have the Titans traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Colts are 14.5 point favorites. Tato, who's your pick here?
I'm going to go with the Colts here. I don't know what to say about this football team. That has not been echoed by a billion.
I mean, let's not forget the Tennessee Titans have a win. It was the most improbable win you will ever see any football team have. Like how a team can collapse from a 24-point lead or whatever it was, be on the goal line. His whole body was across the goal line except for the football, and he dropped it. The Titans have a win, so at least they can hang their hat on that, right? No, this is going to be another statement game for Daniel Jones and for Jonathan Taylor, because people still don't respect them, and this is going to be their statement of, you better start respecting us. Yeah, Colts win.
Unfortunately, I don't think the Titans' victory is gonna.
It's not
earning on no matter how hard they do it.
But if they can win like 70-2,
yeah,
They'll still be like, they gave up a safety against the Titans. How can they do that? Next 425 game. I don't know why I said 2 was the score. Should have said 3 because you got to give them a field goal at least. But we have the Cowboys traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. Broncos are the 3.5 point favorite. This was one I went back and forth on because I want to say I want to just, with everything in my heart, just be like the Cowboys are trash and say they're going to get their heads caved in. But at the same point, they've actually been playing very well this year. Dak has been on a really nice level. I say really nice. I hate saying that, but has been having a great season. George Pickens, that connection's been great. CeeDee Lamb came back, no hesitation after his injury. That defense stopped the Commanders, which has been kind of normal for the Commanders this season. But I still can't do it. I'm still going with Denver. Just Patrick Surtain, Nick Bonito, do something. Do something. I have the Broncos winning here. Tato, what about you?
Yeah, Dak been playing very good football, but I just think the Broncos defense gets it done in the Mile High Stadium.
And they'll have more than one good quarter this week, too.
Probably.
1.5 quarters. Sunday Night Football, we have the Packers are traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. This is our final away team that is favored. Packers are 3.5 point favorites. This is also Aaron Rodgers' first game or first time playing against the Packers. I believe he has beaten every other franchise. So has a chance to be one of the first quarterbacks to beat every single team. Tato, who's your pick here?
I do think Aaron will join those ranks of the few quarterbacks to defeat every NFL team. It's just storyline win.
It is a storyline win. I have to give you that. But also at the same point, both defenses have been pretty bad. One player on one of those defense had his crowning game last week. Micah Parsons, Micah, with 3 sacks against the Cardinals. I'm not a huge fan of this Steelers offensive line. I think he goes off again. And I think the Packers barely get the win here. Monday Night Football. We have the Commanders taking on the Chiefs. Chiefs are 12.5 point favorites. Marcus Mariota is making the start for Washington as Jaden Daniels is dealing with the hamstring issue that he suffered against the Cowboys. Tato, I'm going to make this pretty short and sweet. One team has been playing very, very good. One team has been playing very, very bad. And the very, very bad team just lost their starting quarterback, missing most of their weapons too. And that's going to be hard to do. But no, they're not going to be able to do it. I have the Chiefs here. Tato, what about you?
Yeah, Marcus Mariota just got flagged 20 yards for breathing Patrick Mahomes there. So I'm going Chiefs.
And unfortunately, because it's in Kansas City, he's going to be breathing in a lot of Patrick Mahomes air. He's also going to be breathing in a lot of Karlaftis and Chris Jones's air because they're going to be all over him too. But hey, that has been our picks. Tato and I are the exact same on all of them, but 2, which basically means he will still be in the lead after this week. Oh, yeah, Tato, I didn't tell you. I need to tell you. I finished at 9-6 last week. You finished at 11-4. So that puts you at 55-38. Or no, that was last week. You are at 66-42. I'm at 61-47. So you do have a 5-game lead ahead of me. I can make up 2 of those this week. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for watching, guys. If you like good energy drinks, where's the QR code? There's the QR code. Scan that guy. Get 10% off your next order. If you like live streams, link in the description. Try out StreamYard. And if you don't like any of those, subscribe to our Facebook page. There's some pretty cool stuff. TMG Entertainment. Subscribe to YouTube. Make smart choices or don't, because I really do not care. I'm not your dad. But I could be your pop.